Hi there, Alan Brown here from Stafford Chiropractic and Wellbeing, here with Daniela Lesueur, our resident naturopath. Now Daniela, we're going to make some paleo bread.
Yeah, so paleo bread's kind of coming into vogue at the moment, which is really awesome because paleo bread's really good in the sense that it's always gluten-free. Okay, the paleo diet doesn't really like you eating much grains, which is great when you're looking at breads because it means that you can have a very anti-inflammatory bread and something that's going to be a little bit nicer on your digestive system. So
Plus we like I mean, everyone likes to have, and it's hard to, you like to have that part of your bread in the diet, like something that sort of represents it a little bit. You've got a bit of Italian background, so it's hard to like to have a few replacements.
Definitely, I mean, bread, I've grown up on bread. Bread's been a huge part of my diet, so, you know, when I've learned as much as I have and gone through my degree and been in practice for as long as I have, you know, you realise how damaging bread is to your gut and how, you know, how it can cause just so many problems. So paleo bread's definitely a go-to for me when, you know, I'm really craving that carb hit. So today's bread is pretty simple. It's nice, you know, it's got a few herbs through there which makes it, you know, just gives it a little different element. Okay, so we're going to start off with just some almond flour or almond meal. You can use either, it doesn't really matter in this sense. Okay, so we've just got some almond flour here.
And how much almond flour is that?
Okay, so we're looking at 1.5 cups.
Yep.
We've got 2 tablespoons of your flaxseed meal. Like, these are the flax seeds here, and I like to grind those up personally. The reason being is if you buy something that's already ground, it starts to oxidize and becomes a bit more rancid. So I've just ground this up fresh, so it's just 2 tablespoons of your flaxseed meal. Okay, just got a pinch of salt. Okay, I like to use a Himalayan rock salt. It has a bit more trace elements in there. You've got 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, then we've got some coconut flour there, just 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. Okay, so we're going to add some thyme in here today. Nice fresh thyme, okay. You can leave a little bit of the sticks in there, it doesn't matter too much. Okay, don't try to leave too big of sticks in there, you won't be liking to gnaw on some stick later on when you're eating your paleo bread. Just some nice leaves.
And just, you can throw rosemary in there.
Yeah, rosemary is another great one. You can do olives as well if you like that olive and rosemary kind of bread. You just need to make sure obviously they're all pitted so you don't go gnawing down on any seeds.
And this would toast pretty well, so you could have an egg on it or...
Toast really well, yeah. I find a lot of your paleo breads, depending on what recipe you're using or you know, what you're kind of having with it, most of them are quite nice toasted compared to fresh. I mean, the fresh ones are nice if you're looking at flatbreads and things like that, but toasted's beautiful.
And you also make a bruschetta, that's kind of the...
Yeah, exactly. So this is a prime example of my morning breakfast, is a piece of paleo bread with the nice breakfast bruschetta, which is just a poached egg with a nice beautiful tomato salsa on top.
Yeah.
Sounds very Italian, doesn't it? Alrighty, so once you've got your dry ingredients in there, you can just stir those up. Actually, do you mind just grabbing a spoon with some description? Yeah.
My
special stick.
Stirrer.
So just blend those dry ingredients just so they're nice and well combined. If there's any lumps, just push those out. Okay, so once they're all combined, you can start adding your wet ingredients. Okay, now paleo breads do use a lot of eggs. So if you do have an egg intolerance, obviously paleo bread's not going to be the way to go for you, as they use a lot of eggs for the rising ailment for it and to hold it together.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got some coconut oil here as well. Depending on what temperature it is at home, it might be melted, it might be hard, that's completely normal. Don't get freaked out if yours looks a little bit different. Alrighty, so we've got some coconut oil and 5 eggs in this recipe. Okay, so Alan, yeah, if you don't mind helping me crack those ones.
And shell just adds a bit of important trace elements as well, as long as they're organic.
Yeah, that's it. Alright, so you can definitely use a hand mixer. I generally tend to prefer to, but electric mixer obviously is going to get the job done a little bit quicker. You just want to make sure you don't over blend these eggs though.
So it's a bit more of a loose blending, a bit like an omelette, I guess, like you're supposed to.
Yeah, just a little bit more probably than an omelette, but you don't want to do probably much more than this. There we go. So just when all the ingredients are combined, basically. All right.
That's pretty
just
straightforward,
better.
isn't it, really?
That is really straightforward. Yeah.
Does
Nice
it come
and
out pretty
simple.
damp, or is it sort of quite firm? Or?
It's relatively firm. It's not like a nice light, flat, fluffy ciabatta if you're liking those kinds of bread. It's definitely a bit more dense than that.
Yeah.
But again, that's kind of stereotypical of your paleo bread. It's pretty common for them to be a little bit more dense. Alrighty. Yeah, so straight into a baking tray. So obviously line your baking tray. We used a bit of organic butter here. Now you want to have your oven preheated to 180 degrees before you pop this one in. It's only going to go in for about 25 to 30 minutes. Again, just depending on the size of your baking tray and how deep your mixture is.
And will that rise much?
It will rise, yeah. With the amount of eggs and the baking powder in there, it will start to rise. Okay, you can go a little bit decorative again. If you've got some oregano or some herbs, just sprinkle those on top. And that's it, straight in the oven.
Beautiful. Thanks, Danielle.
You're very welcome.